What's going on, everybody? This is dkdynamite, and tonight we're going to be talking about the 6 secret unlocks you can get from the weapon cases on Koschei Complex. Definitely stay tuned. But before we jump into that, be sure to hit that subscribe button down below, drop a like, and also let me know in the comment section, how are you guys liking the brand new DMZ map here in Season 3 Reloaded? And did you also get all the weapon cases unlocked over on Mazrah, Ashika Island, and even Building 21? I absolutely love going for these with every major content update for DMZ, and I'll be grinding all of these as they do release in future seasons, but they typically only release in weapon cases with a new DMZ exclusion zone or map. But like we saw at the beginning of Season 3, they ended up overhauling how weapon cases work over on Mazrah, which was a bit interesting, so I'll always keep you guys updated with exactly how all the rewards work in this game mode. Now, I will also be making a separate video about the bonus weapon modification skin you can build by scavenging parts on Koschei Complex. Not all of that has been solved time recording this video, but I'll of course do a separate commentary probably in the next 24 hours covering everything you need to know about that bonus weapon. But with that, for those that are also wondering why they can't access parts of Warzone or even DMZ exclusively, I know there's some really weird issues with the launch of our mid-season 3 update where people out there on console specifically were being asked to re-download the entire game or download missing data packs. Something weird was going on, but as Infinity Ward put over on Twitter, Sony players specifically may have a longer rollout for updates for Season 3 Reloaded this morning. Please ensure that you have the new Warzone DLC update installed in order to play Warzone. But again, I was seeing that issue also mentioned by people that were over on Xbox, so it might have just been a console exclusive thing that I just didn't see at all for Steam or even Battle.net users. But with that, I'm recording this video during the launch window of the mid-season 3 update, so before you guys know it, if you guys are watching this video a couple days after release, they probably fixed all the issues with you being able to access DMZ altogether. Tonight's video is sponsored by Sly. Now, Sly is the drink of the future, approved by gamers, created by doctors to help you relax after a long session of playing or creating content. Now, this truly is the drink gamers have been asking for and was specifically made to be as healthy as can be. Sly is low on sugar and calories, high on physical and mental health, and paves the way for a healthy sleep-wake cycle after a long day of grinding. Now, you can download the Sly app and pick up any flavor of your choice using my special link down below in this video's description or the QR code on screen, while there's also a special sweepstakes happening where Sly will select the winner and send him or her to a gaming event of their choice for a prize value of $3,000. But thank you to Sly for sponsoring tonight's video. Now, I did post a separate video a couple of hours ago talking about how to access Koschei Complex, how the map itself works, how the marketing for it was a bit confusing, but now it actually makes sense, and I went through kind of our first playthrough of the experience, right? Going through, finding some secrets, and even exfilling successfully after some PvP action. That video is linked down below, but something worth noting is that there are 4 different entrances to this map over on Mazrah. And the thing is though, each entrance will offer a different challenge you have to complete in order to then enter the PvP area of the map itself. So before you do a certain challenge in one of the 4 areas, it'll just be you versus some AI and the ability to do a certain challenge to then access the next part of the map itself, and you have to access that next part to then go for the weapon cases and kill the 2 bosses that are on Koschei Complex. Now, in my opinion, if you guys spawn closest to Rohan Oil, this is the best location to actually enter Koschei Complex from. But again, if you don't spawn close to Rohan Oil, then you're probably going to want to access the map itself from one of the other locations that you're closest to. But it is possible to play almost a full match of Mazrah, drive around to the Rohan Oil whenever you see fit, and then go into a match of Koschei Complex. It doesn't really matter how deep of a match you're in for Mazrah, since if you have a gas mask, you could still go to whatever location that you want and access Koschei Complex. That'll then boot you into a separate server of that separate experience that has nothing to do with that game you're just in on Mazrah. But with this Rohan Oil spawn, the challenge is fairly simple. You'll see a door that can only be opened by adding some parts to it. You need a car battery and some jumper cables. Both of those parts can be found relatively close here in this environment. They're really not hard to find and will be guaranteed to spawn in this general area. Obviously, take out all the AI, watch your back, and stick together as a team. But remember, there won't be any real players in this area, not until after you find the 2 parts and open that door, as you guys can see. Now, the Mazrah City spawn point for Koschei Complex features a relatively similar type of challenge to the one from Rohan Oil, where you're finding some parts, then open up a specific room. Again, you want to take out all the AI that you can, and you want to make sure that you go ahead and loot every single room that you also could, because again, those parts will always be there every single time, and you'll also come across some other good loot that might come in handy, whether it's medium backpacks, whether it's gas masks, whether it's even maybe night vision goggles, or whatever the case is. You'll still find some pretty good loot in this environment, and again, you have a good, 20 plus minutes in a match of Koschei Complex, which is more than you can ever get on Building 21, so there's plenty of time to find what you need as you're scavenging these parts that you also need to open up this specific door. But again, these 2 quests are relatively similar from Rohan Oil to Mazrah City. But then there's the spawn over in the Taraq village area of the map. This is actually the first one that I came across when I first streamed the update earlier today, and this one is a bit different, right? This is much less scavenging parts to open a door and more of just a maze, similar to the first episode of Raids, Adamgrad. And the maze that we saw in the first episode of Raids involved you going underwater and just navigating your way through an environment until you found a very specific room. But the challenge with that first maze we saw in Raids is that in every match that you play, the actual path you have to go to get to a certain room, to get to the next area, was a bit different in every match that you play. You kind of knew where you had to go, but the path itself might have been slightly different based on RNG. It's not really like that here for Taraq Village. It's the same general path you have to swim through, and you're just kind of making sure that you swim as much as you can and coming up for some air and looking for those red arrows on the walls, which will end up pointing you in the right direction until finally you'll be done with the underwater portion of this area. Now eventually you'll come across a hallway where there's a bunker door, and again, you want to make sure you have found night vision goggles prior to getting to this, because now it's about to be pitch black when you get outside. So hopefully you scavenged enough while you were underwater, while you were looting at the beginning of this section, and once you get past this, you will now be entering the PvP area of Koschei Complex, so now is when you want to watch your back. Now, to put it simply, all these challenges from the different spawn points will lead you to the same looking bunker door, leading you to the pitch dark area of Koschei Complex, which will introduce you to the first area where you can experience PvP, in which you will need night vision goggles. So yes, all of these challenges will lead you to the same area of the map itself, in which you can then go after the weapon cases. But the last spawn is over by Oasis, the unmarked location here for Koschei Complex over in Mazrah. So this is the very top of the map itself. Again, it's unmarked, but if you guys happen to spawn close to this area, then you can go ahead and enter the Oasis spawn by just going through these tunnels till you come across the bunker door, spawn into a match of this new DMZ exclusion zone. And the puzzle for this one is the most tedious, at least in my opinion. So unless you guys enjoy this one in particular, I wouldn't recommend going to the Oasis spawn to enter Koschei Complex, but to each their own. Everybody has their own opinion on which area they prefer to go into when then entering the PvP area of Koschei Complex. So the way this quest works is a little complex, but I'll break it down the best way that I can. So as you'll see right in this room, there are a bunch of bunker doors that are open and gas emitting from them. One of the buttons you'll come across will allow you to stop the gas from flowing into the room by closing all of those bunker doors. You then want to go through this specific area, and it's another room featuring a bunch of open bunker doors and gas coming through. You want to find the button again, and this time it'll close all the doors except one, and you have to manually go up to one of those bunker doors and close them yourself. And once you do that, you'll enter a third room where it's the same concept, where you have to find the random button that'll close a bunch of the bunker doors, stop the gas from coming in, but this time it'll leave maybe one or two bunker doors open. You want to manually close those again, and then you'll be led towards a bunker that will take you to the power plant area of Koschei Complex. Again, one of the first areas where you'll start seeing some PvP action if there are other players in your vicinity. But now you want to make sure your night vision goggles are on, and you want to make your way to this specific section of the power plant in which you will find a factory admin key. Now the factory admin key will always be in this general area, and the spawns for the key could be a little different in your match, but it's generally in this section, either towards the beginning, right when you enter this area, or towards the back of this section. As you guys can see, you'll find that key, and it's gonna be very important because you have to use it to open up doors A1 or A2. It's towards this area of the power plant, as you'll see. Now on the other side, there'll be a sentry gun, and you wanna make sure you take out all the AI that you see in the area, watch your back, take it slow, and run through the factory admin area, which does look a lot like the area we saw in our first episode of Raids. And this is gonna be one of two sides to the final part of Koschei Complex that you need to go to find that weapon case. So once you clear all the AI once again, and you guys loot up a little bit, armor plate, get whatever you guys need from the surrounding loot chests, you want to go into the factory wing. Again, clear some more enemies and make your way up the stairs here, where you'll see a legendary buy station or a normal buy station. I'll make a separate video talking about the new legendary buy station system in the next couple of days, but buy whatever you guys need right here, because there's no going back at this point. You want to make sure you buy anything you guys need, whether it's a gas mask, an armor box, some ammo, or some other items that you want to trade and barter for something else. But as with the other DMZ maps, there are two bosses featured here on Koschei Complex. One is called the Rino, and one is called the Sniper. So you'll first come across the Rino, as you can see, who of course has lots of health. He's a bit of a bullet sponge, holding dual wield pistols. He could rush and even melee you, so keep a distance from him, and obviously any weapon that you use could be viable. I would just recommend putting in the most damage that you can with the best fire rate. So if you have a Dragon's Breath KV broadside, that'll do the trick. If you have an LMG that you can reload quick enough, use that as well, but there's no real specific class that you need to have. Of course, weapons get nerfed every season or so the meta obviously will change, but bring in a trustworthy AR or a shotgun and you'll be just fine killing the Rino. But of course, have good coordination with your team to make sure that you take them out in the most efficient way possible, and also watch your back track for other AI in the area. But after killing them, a door nearby will emit a green light. You want to go through that door, run upstairs, and there you'll find the second boss known as the Sniper. Now the Sniper has planted proximity and laser traps all around the area itself. The goal is to keep pushing him back as you keep going through his traps, whether you shoot them, whether you accidentally run across them and get down, whatever the case is. As you proceed past his traps, he's going to keep moving back to other areas of this section of the map, and he'll have more traps waiting for you. So the goal is just to evade his traps, not get sniped by him, and do enough damage to him to where he'll finally drop. Now if he catches you in his line of sight, again, he has a sniper, so he can down you pretty quickly, especially if you don't have tempered or 3 full plates. Be very careful and have, again, good communication with your team to make sure that you're taking this guy out in the most efficient way that you can. Now there is a strat that you'll see on screen that skips the process of needing to go through his traps and pushing him back from room to room. There's a strat where you can actually catch him off guard prior to going through his traps, and you can essentially insta-kill him before you really deal with the challenges that are supposed to come with his boss fight. But I'm sure they'll end up patching a strat like this in the next couple of days or weeks. But while this is still fresh, take advantage of this while you can to kill the Sniper in the fastest way that you can. But again, for a traditional way of killing him, you gotta go through his traps and evade them the best that you can while also putting in enough damage. Now the Sniper doesn't drop anything special in terms of weapons, but he will end up dropping a secure room key. Once you pick that up, it'll mark on the map where you have to go to use that key, and that's gonna be the room where the weapon case is. So once you go into this room, there'll be a bunch of rare crates with some good loot in them. Take advantage of that if you need to regain or anything, and you can then grab the brand new weapon case that's exclusive to Koschei Complex. Now there's no tac map on this map, but you will still be marked through the walls if you hold the weapon case, meaning that other real players can see you no matter where they are on the map and can end up hunting you down and robbing you of that case. So be aware that when you pick up that case, it's a big risk. So what you probably want to do is run straight to an Exfil as soon as you possibly can when you have that case. But there's another way to Exfil. Aside from using the traditional ones that are marked for you on the map, you can actually go to a bit of a personal Exfil, but it's a new type of system that's exclusive to just this map alone. So what you could do right after killing that Sniper and grabbing that weapon case is you can go through these L2 doors, and you can go through those doors by using L2 keys, and that'll lead you to a very safe Exfil. And when I say safe, it's in a different direction from the other Exfils that every other team can see, but there'll still be AI you have to take down when you get to that. So you can use the L2 keys if you happen to find them randomly in the environment, or you can buy one at a buy station for about $50,000, which is a bit of a challenge, or you can use a skeleton key, which are easy to craft on Building 21 or any other map, as I talked about in a previous video dealing with the barter system. So if you want to do that to Exfil in the fastest way possible after grabbing that case, that's the best move. But if you don't have any keys to Exfil, then you can totally just go to a regular Exfil location on this map with the risk of other players possibly chasing you. Now upon Exfiling, these are the 6 free rewards you can unlock for grabbing 6 different weapon cases here on Koschei Complex. The first one is a loading screen. The next one is a double Battle Pass XP token. There's then a double weapon XP token. There's also a calling card, an animated emblem, and a very cool looking blueprint for the LAVX 330 Sniper. So again, we had 7 weapon cases for all Mazrah, 6 for Building 21, 6 for Ashika Island, another 6 here for Koschei Complex, and it's to be believed that with every new Warzone or DMZ map that does release, we'll get a new weapon case featuring 6 or 7 different grindable rewards. Now if you guys aren't happy with these rewards, keep in mind that a bunch of other free cosmetics have been released inside of COD 2.0, and if anything, COD 2.0 has offered the most amount of free unlockable rewards than any other COD, at least the way I see it, and there's plenty of free ones through the new in-game event for the Trophy Hunt expansion. There's a bunch you can get through the raid and some other methods that I have covered in previous videos. Don't forget though that this quest over on Koschei Complex will get harder as time goes on, considering more and more people end up figuring out where the weapon case is. They'll be watching more videos on how to actually obtain it. So take advantage of this weapon case while it's still fresh, while people out there haven't really learned about it too much just yet, because things are going to get pretty frustrating as we saw over on other DMZ maps over the last couple of months. But that is about it. This has been dkdynamite. Leave our thoughts down below in the comment section. What are your thoughts on these 6 secret unlocks you can get over on Koschei Complex with the brand new weapon case system? How you feeling about our brand new bosses and everything else we discussed about our brand new exclusion zone? Really hope you've enjoyed, and peace out, everybody.